Hey, this is Larry Osborne here, and I want to take a little time to talk about what I call the 7 pitfalls of growth. Growth is one of those things we always want to see happen to whatever it is we're leading, whether it be something small or something large, be it in a volunteer basis or be it our vocation and our career. But there are always unintended consequences with everything, and growth has its own. And I have learned over the years that if I'm not careful, growth can swallow me up and take me off mission. So here is the first of the 7 pitfalls of growth, the thing that no one ever tells us about. And it's simply this: we get an information overload. We no longer are able to know what's really important. You know, every leader has a sense of intuition. They can smell and they can see what's going on around them. And so in that sense, you're always getting information, even if you have no database. There's information that's coming your way, you're processing it, and you're making decisions on what needs to be done, where you ought to go, and how things ought to be responded to. But the problem with growth is simply this: the data becomes an overload. It's coming from so many places and all kinds of different things that you actually can find yourself in the situation where you know lots of things, but you no longer know the important things. One of the things that business leaders have done over the years, and I found very helpful to me, is to put together what I like to call a flash report, because that's a solution to information overload. Whenever anything gets too complex, the solution is simplicity. And a flash report is simply a look at the 3 to at the most 5 things that are most important if you could only know 3 to 5 things. So for instance, if I owned a small restaurant and I was able to know the gross receipts every single night from 6 to 8 p.m., I would know 70 to 80% of what I need to know. Sure, it'd be nice to know what was sold and what the profit margin on each dish was, but just knowing that one number would be incredibly important. That's what a flash report is. So what I want to encourage you to do is to step back and ask yourself this question: what are the most important things for you to know or for you to track, and begin to track them? I'll give you a few examples at North Coast Church over the years. Once we hit 300 or 400 people, it dawned on me that we only had so much time and energy to track our guests. And first-time guests are important to know, and we would send out a letter and all the normal stuff in that case. But what was much more important was second-time guests. Because if someone came a first time, I had no idea why they came. It could have been they lost a bet. It could have been they're visiting the area, all kinds of different things. But if they came back a second time, there was something they liked about what was going on. And that was probably our most important thing to measure when it came to the guests that visited our church. When it came to Sunday school classes, when it came to our small groups, knowing how many people were in them was important, but knowing our retention rate was far more important. So here's my question for you. What are the 3 to 5 things that most tell the health and what's going on in your organization and your particular ministry? And do you have a flash report that gives you that information quickly and on a regular basis?